This is a subject that's fascinated me for as long as I can remember: euthanasia. I found listening to people on both sides of the euthanasia debate to be very interesting over the last 10 years or so. Those in favour of euthanasia argue that people should have the right to end their suffering with a quick, dignified, and compassionate death. Pro-euthanasia people and groups say the right to die is central to personal autonomy and bodily integrity. Opponents of euthanasia are quick to point out that doctors have a moral responsibility to keep their patients alive, as reflected by the Hippocratic Oath. They also argue that there may be a slippery slope from euthanasia to murder. Here in the United Kingdom, euthanasia is illegal. Several attempts to introduce bills that would have legalised voluntary euthanasia between 2003 and 2006 were all rejected by Parliament. Should people have the right to decide when they want to die? If a person is in excruciating pain and agony and there is no chance they are going to get better, should they not have the legal right to say, I want my life to end now? And don't they have the right to have their wish carried out by a medical professional? Anyone watching this video, I'd really like to hear your views on this subject. Please feel free to post comments. There is an important distinction in UK law between active euthanasia and passive euthanasia. Active euthanasia is illegal, even with consent. However, the removal of life-saving care, passive euthanasia, for example, removing a feeding tube or switching off a life support machine, is not illegal. Some of those who stand against legalizing euthanasia, they don't even want to hear the other side of the debate. They don't think that there's a debate to be had, some people. Some say euthanasia, or mercy killing, is morally wrong. It's homicide, and murdering another human cannot be rationalized under any circumstances. I've heard it argued that legalizing euthanasia would cause victimization of the most vulnerable people or groups in society. I think that is a legitimate concern. It's a good point. I also hear those who oppose the legalization of euthanasia, sometimes saying, would mercy killing transform itself from the right to die to the right to kill? They seem to focus on that concern quite a fair bit. On the other side of the debate, you hear pro-euthanasia people saying it is unethical for terminally ill patients to be made to endure horrible suffering and unbearable pain against their express wishes. Where you have someone suffering terribly from an incurable disease and their quality of life isn't going to get any better, or it simply can't get any better, they should have the freedom to choose induced death. If a person has the right to discontinue treatment, why should he or she not have the right to shorten his or her lifetime to escape intolerable anguish? The debate rages on. Speaking personally, if I were to develop a disease which caused my brain to go through a long and drawn out process of mental and emotional decline, if I developed a disease of the mind which took my memories from me and my abilities and my attributes from me, and assuming that I was clearly not responding to any treatment, I would choose euthanasia. I honestly would. My mind is genuinely that important to me. If my mind were destroyed, if a brain disease were to turn me into a vegetable, I would choose death, if able to do so. If I were ever crippled, say I had an accident and I couldn't ever walk again or work again, I could live with that. As long as I had my mind, I would choose to go on, you know? There are some very smart and articulate people on both sides of this debate who are well worth listening to. But there are also some folks on either side at the extremes of the issue who cling to certain positions no matter how unreasonable they are being. People like this, they're no help to the debate. They're no help to those they claim to support. They're not helping at all. Some people, they come to this issue more interested in being dogmatic than they are interested in listening to others. And that's just no good, in my opinion. Anyway, take it easy, folks. Peace.